And we are live. What's up, everybody? I'm Jay from Leprechaun TV and your host of the Hot Seat, where we light the fire underneath our guests. And today's guest, we got John from Salt, Pepper, and Fire. How you doing, brother?
Doing
Good to
good,
see
man.
you.
Doing good.
Glad to have you.
Glad to be here, man. You been all right today?
Yeah, I'm good, man. So John was supposed to be we had talked about being a guest, but he had come under the weather,
Yeah.
and the whole household did actually. Is everybody recovered? Everybody good?
Everybody's good. We are on the up and up, back to
Awesome.
normal. All things going good, man.
Awesome. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. We got tons of people waiting for us. Uh we got 805s in the house, Hobo Nickel barbecues in the house, Daddy Dutch barbecue. Who else did I see? Bobby Joe and her evil twin Ski Girly. We got Brian with Lux Evil Vacation. What's up, Brian? We got Judge Wep. We got Judge Wep in the house. Whoop whoop. He's moving to Ohio.
Is it?
Yep. Yep. So I'll be 3 hours away from him. So you never know. There might be
Might have
some
to link
kind of
up.
collab and live.
Yeah.
We got Frack Daddy in the house, Scooter Two Cools in the house, um, Canadian Jim's in the house. What's up, Jim? Look at this guy, way up past his bedtime. C Mac's in the house. If you don't know C Mac Cooks, man, this guy went camping. Okay, him and his buddies, they lined up 11, 12 Blackstones, and they cooked one burger on all the Blackstones. So somebody started it, took it to the next one, and they were all lined up. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I have to check that out.
Yeah. Yeah, he's more on Facebook. I don't know if that got uploaded to YouTube. I can't remember. C-Mac, is that on YouTube? No. Look at this. We got the Cooking
Steven,
with
what up,
Steven
brother?
and Jacqueline. You know they're always showing up, man. I honestly think they're robots, bro. Like
Yeah.
they're aliens or something because
Yeah.
they never sleep, man.
Yeah, I was thinking it
These
was probably like three or four of 'em, maybe some clones that just stay up all day.
like
Yeah,
multiplicity.
exactly.
That's funny. That's a good one, man. I always said that movie made sense because
Yeah,
sometimes during a day we could all lose track of time for sure.
absolutely.
With our busy days and trying to juggle this hobby, this fun thing that we do, YouTube, hanging out with each other. StreamYards makes it super simple to where we just send a link out and all hang out. It doesn't have to be live. We have off-air parties. We have, I've hosted like sporting events and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool learning and meeting all these new people. Like I said, Judge Webb barbecues coming to Ohio. So and there's some Browns backers events right where he's going. So he'll definitely probably see me come football time. We got Carla having fun in the house.
What's going on?
Look at this guy. First question.
Sleeper barbecue, without a doubt.
All right, man. We got people rolling in, waiting for us, hanging out. We got Terry White, another Blackstoner in the house, another Ohioan. Met him last year on the Griddle Moore tour. You hip to the Griddle Moore tour with Todd Toven?
I'm not. No.
So Todd Toven is like the face of Blackstone social media. And they put together a tour where he goes city to city doing little griddle demonstrations.
Right.
And he'll make like four different recipes for 4 hours.
Gotcha.
You get a ticket, you get a hat, which stuff
Yeah.
like that, you know what I mean? Which is, it'll say, Griddle More Tour instead of that. My hat isn't near me, it's outside, but cool thing to visit. We got Jimmy Q in the house, Cody's in the house, Miscellaneous is in the house, Alex is in the house. With all these people, all the 22 million watching, man, let them know about Salt, Pepper, and Fire, man. What's a little bio behind you, where you live? You can disclose whatever you want. Whatever. The floor is yours, man. Let everybody know who you are.
Gotcha. I'm John. Live in North Alabama. It's probably about 30 minutes from Mississippi to the west, about 30 minutes from Tennessee to the north. Small little town. Uh, Live in Muscle Shoals. It's known for a famous studio that it has in town. Fame. I don't know if you've heard of it, but a lot of music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s was recorded there. I mean, the who's who of music have been here. They recently done a documentary on it called Muscle Shoals, and we still have, the who's who of artists come in town, to record at the studio. But yeah, that's where I live. Been doing barbecue pretty much, since I guess high school, on and off. It's definitely been a passion of mine. Got more serious, the older I got. Uh, it's just me, man.
Yeah. So we had spoke. We're always messaging each other, but got to asking where you were from, and you had said Muscle Shoals, and I'm like, wow, that's right outside where my dad's side's from,
Right.
in Florence. And so yeah, man, we were like, dang, that's pretty crazy. And then
That is.
I was telling you my uncles used to run them streets, and you were like, oh man.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't think it was that bad. They were fairly young, but then again, back in them days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy times, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we never
Yeah.
know.
No
But
stranger
yeah,
to that. Like I said, I think I told you my dad's side kind of. Yeah. We
right.
know all about that.
Right. And that's one reason, I guess, classic rock was a uh big thing to be listening on my dad's side. Like, everybody was into the classic rock scene,
Right.
which understandable, growing up that close. You could probably go sit there and get an autograph or get a picture or talk to somebody coming out of that studio, because that studio was so small. You know what I
Right.
mean? It was
Yeah.
like right on the edge of the street and stuff.
Exactly. Right in the middle of town. You can't miss
Right. It's like they
No,
built the town around that.
they did. Yeah. It's like no sneaking into it. I think there's an airport that's probably 5 miles down the road. So I think they just flew in there, 5 miles up the road there at the studio. So yeah, it feels like the town was kind of built around that whole thing.
I mean, what better thing to latch onto? I mean,
That's
it's
true.
a tourist attraction. It's a musician's attraction. An entertainer. To be recorded there,
Right.
or at least visit it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Sleeper's got a question, but before I get into that, Alabama. Obviously, you are a Auburn
It's
fan.
Where's let me see if I can sign off right quick. No, it's all tied over here. Roll Tide, baby.
Well, you know me from the Buckeye State, man. You guys always thorn in our freaking side, man.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
y'all got us that one year
any
though.
SEC team, actually, for that
Yeah.
matter. But for sure, Bama, we got you guys one year.
Yeah.
We got you guys one year.
Hey, I still have flashbacks of Zeke Elliott running down the field.
I was like, go, baby, go. Now look, he made it to the NFL. Now he can't even run no more.
Exactly. If he take that halter top off, he might do all right.
Oh, there's so many memes with that. It's
Yeah,
like, man, he's actually man, he was one of the good guys,
he
man.
was. Yeah, but I mean, we had the same thing. I mean, Trent Richardson, he played at Bama, was a beast in
Right.
college, but got to the NFL and just couldn't hack it.
Yeah. And that's the thing with Alabama, man. Alabama produces running backs like left and right,
Yeah,
where Ohio State produces linebackers to stop them running backs. you
right.
know?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it was a perfect match, you know.
Right, right. Uh Terry White, do you guys know Timmy Horton, the bass fisherman? I heard the name. I'm not too much of a fisherman, but I've heard the name. What about you, John? You heard the name?
No, I haven't. Not too big into, I guess, fishing on here, but no, I haven't heard that name before.
Right. My my dude fat ass 93 Stang LSU.
LS who?
I knew that one was coming. I need a couple more rubber bands. I need the cheek ones, and I'm gonna put it in and put the little rubber bands. Remember Captain Lou Albano from
Yeah,
wrestling?
yeah. So
Because
how
at
long
work
are we going with it?
yeah, well, at work I gotta tie it up, so
Really?
I never let it down. If I do, it looks like I crimped it with the
Yeah.
80s crimper. So you said you've been barbecuing since high school. I'm sure you probably watched your parents and grandparents,
Yeah.
aunts, uncles cook. I'm sure down south, I mean, that's one thing you guys are good for is cooking.
Yeah.
Um, so I know cooking's probably been in your blood the whole time.
Yeah.
And what made you start the channel?
I mean, as far as grilling, growing up, my family, it was more of a, big holidays type of thing when the grill came out. And I always loved it. It was like, I mean, why can't we do this more? So, I always said, once I'm out on my own, that's something that I'll, pursue a little bit more than what we do here. So, uh, got out on my own, start learning, got a crappy little grill, no name, doing terrible things, not knowing what I'm doing, but just
Hmm.
growing in it. So, I just kept on honing my skills, something I really loved and uh ran across a few guys on YouTube and started watching. I was like, man, this is really interesting, the way, that they can put these recipes together, and make, a video commentary of how to do it. And when I see stuff like that and I like it, I was like, I think I can do that. I want to do it. I see it as a challenge. It's like if they can do it, I can do it. I'm gonna do it. But was just kind of hesitant, didn't pull the trigger for a while, and just continued to watch. And the more I watch, I'm like, I'm gonna try it. That what's the hurt in it? I can either succeed or fail. So just jumped on it, man. I started learning, how to edit, you know, got a good camera, got audio, dug into it, learned how to do it, and hadn't looked back since.
And how long has that been? 6 months now?
Yeah, I started mid October. That was my first video that I put out.
Right. So was there a lot of before that like practice runs? You know what I
No,
mean? Like you went straight in, huh? Jumped
straight
all in?
in. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I researched for a while before I did it. So just I kind of felt I'm fairly prepared. So I just jumped in with both feet.
Yeah, so did I, and all I had was a camera.
Yeah,
The camera on my phone, you know what I mean?
right.
Uh just recently I got a good camera. I'm still trying to figure that thing out, man. There's a
Yeah,
lot of buttons on that thing.
there is.
Um very intimidating. And then obviously I'd have to pick up some kind of editor. What kind of editing program are you using?
I use DaVinci Resolve 17.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to have a camera because my wife does photography. So I was able to use that camera, kind of multi-purpose. She does,
Mhm.
her photography with it. And then, it got to the point where I'm using it a little bit too much. So I had to get my own so we could both do our thing.
We got Shandy Girl joining us. SJ Cooks.
It's Jay, what's going on, man?
We got Kenneth Cunningham, North Texas Barbecue Addicts, showing up. Jeannie's Point. Excuse me. That one went down the wrong pipe. Last beers in the house. But yeah, doing this YouTube thing, you know what I mean, is fun. Um, how long do you spend editing?
Uh, it's usually maybe 3 hour process for me most times, just depending on the length of the video. It can be more, it can be less, but I just generally it's about 3 hours.
3 hours total
Yeah,
for a 10-minute video, huh?
yeah,
Man, that's scary.
yeah. That's include. Yeah, that's video, audio, thumbnail, all of
Yeah.
that, and then kind of researching what I'm gonna do once I upload it. So that's the
Hmm.
whole process.
Right on. It's
What's going on, Mario?
it's my mind, I can't stay focused long enough. Like I would have to work on a video probably all week long, just little increments here, little
Yeah,
increments there, save and go back to it and stuff like
yeah,
that. Because for one, I've never messed with the editor on my laptop, so that's going to be something new. Uploading footage to the laptop, that's all going to be you know what I mean,
right,
everything's going to be new.
yeah,
Once again, where I already knew what I was doing with the phone. Um, Probably it won't be that hard to transition over, but you never know, you
right,
know. But yeah, man, I like to pick people's brain on the editing side of things because obviously I haven't done it. I obviously edit on a TikTok video, or what I mean, off the
yeah,
phone, and I used Filmora Go on my phone. So yeah, that was simple. I
yeah.
figured that out real easily, walk you through. But yeah,
Honestly, I mean, I feel like a TikTok video is harder than a long form video to me. I mean, I don't, getting those short increments to make a good story and making it line up right. I mean, it's tough.
that's one way of looking at it, I guess. But for me, that's the simple part. 10-second videos, a couple pictures, mix
Yeah,
and intermingle them, and the uh, the best part is the music. I
right.
love the music. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean. You could put a video up with and put Foo Fighters
Yeah, whoever
back.
you want. Yeah,
Speaking of Foo Fighters, Eastwind Farms is in the house. Yes, I'm transitioning from uh, easy to hard. There's no longer going to be an easy button, that's for sure. But with work now, it's kind of weird because I only get Sundays and Mondays off, and that's more or less catching up on life.
right.
Let alone uh, shooting some videos and then editing all week.
Yeah,
Not saying it. You know what I mean. I don't have the time. I do have the time, but it's all the stars aligning, right?
right.
And now that I'm working in a barbecue joint, um, I take home a lot of food, so there
Right.
really isn't a lot that I could, you know what I mean. What I'm been trying to do is like incorporate things. That lunch with Lep is based around leftovers. You know what I mean. What are you having for lunch the next day after you cook the dinner? You know what I mean.
Right.
Let me throw it on the flat top and throw you together a meal like the spaghetti tacos. You remember the
Right.
spaghetti? You seen the spaghetti taco?
I have.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. We got David Fogg in the house. What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
David's question is always the same. Uh, what is your least favorite thing to cook, and what is your favorite thing to cook?
Least favorite to cook is fish, definitely. I mean, I'll eat it, not a big fan, so I kind of stay away from it. Favorite thing to cook is I love beef. I think my favorite would probably be beef ribs. Yeah,
Beef ribs, huh?
yeah. But any cut of beef, I mean, I love brisket. Love doing uh, chuck roast. I mean, I'll do it all, but I think beef ribs is the favorite.
So beef ribs, obviously, you cook like you would a brisket.
Right.
Do you cook your chuck roast the same way?
I do. I do most times. I mean, I'll do uh the uh salt pepper and just smoke it for a while. But also, I mean, I do them sometimes in the crock pot, the Mississippi pot roast. But I mean, I love both. But I mean, I like smoked food, I think, a little better. So most
Okay.
times when I do a chuck roast, it's gonna be the salt, pepper, and smoke it.
So now the owner. Now that I'm watching him smoke all things, I'm like, like let's par smoke some meats and then add it to the recipes, like the Mississippi pot roast or my birria. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
could smoke something and add it just to give it that another. It wouldn't even be a different flavor profile. I mean, it would be, but it's a different
yeah, just an
the way
additive,
the
basically.
the meat's taken in the fire and then the heat would sort of like braising it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Um, I just did a birria recipe yesterday and sold 19 tacos. No, take that back. I sold 24 tacos and still got a whole bunch left. And a couple people backed out. That's why it sucks trying to do something from the house because
Yeah.
somebody says, "Oh, I can't." Well, you already cooked for that person. You know what I mean? I already calculated that into the recipe. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like when I went and grabbed my meat, I said I need X amount of meat. You
Yeah.
know,
To feed this
um,
many people.
right.
Yeah.
This one I actually did with a Wagyu brisket.
Yeah.
So a lot of people cringed watching me cut up a Wagyu brisket in chunks and
Yeah, I
throw it
probably
in a
would have too.
roaster. And throw it in a roaster.
Yeah, that's almost blasphemy right there. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean that expensive of a meat and have people back out on you. That's tough, man.
yeah. Hey, they missed out on a good one.
Yeah.
Got something from 805. Jorge, where did your name come from? Salt, pepper, and fire.
Just the simplicity of, how I usually cook. I mean, that's my ingredients, I go with salt, go with pepper, and, just the flame of cooking. I mean, I feel like that produces really good barbecue. That's what I do most times. And, I'll branch out and use rubs and, different spices, but, that's usually where I land. So I thought that was a pretty good name.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got sometimes you're put on the spot like what would and then people overthink it,
Yeah.
and it's just I don't know. For me it was TV came before the cooking, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even with my cooking I chose not to change my name to barbecue or cooking or anything to um put me in that category in this family. You know what I mean?
Right.
I said no. I'll just stick with what I got. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna know me regardless. I'm loud. I'm obnoxious.
You made a name for yourself already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SJ Cooks wants to know, which video cook is John most proud of?
Uh, I don't know. It would definitely be between the beef ribs I have and then the brisket that I recently done for the collab. I think both of those really came together well. Uh, so it'd be between those two. I don't know if I could pick one for sure.
Hmm. You know, it's hard to pick a favorite for me too. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I
yeah,
look at it. My favorite one is the one that did the best.
yeah, yeah.
I don't care what it was. Was it food? Was it that I was at the bike show? You
Yeah.
know, was
Well,
I watching birds?
if I go with that, I guess it'd have to be the smoked queso dip I done probably about 5, 6 months ago. It done pretty well. But that was kind of one of my first ones. I mean, I didn't expect it to do anything really, but it kind of took off there for a little bit. I think I
Yeah.
have like 2,000 views, I believe.
Hmm. And you're like, yeah, you got off to a good start, and then all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah, you drop off. I was like,
yeah.
yeah,
So East Wind Farms came here to my house for the Blackstone Backyard Boogie in 2019, and we had uh, Don't Trust the Skinny Chef Shane come in from Florida, which he brought up some fresh gator, right?
wow,
So we had the likes of Rob D, chilling and grilling with Rob D from Oakland, Mexican. So there's tacos. I had local guy Ted. It's all about the rack, and he had a Hunsaker drum. So he's all about the beef ribs. And then we had Hobo Nickel Barbecue here with his Gabby Grill doing Wagyu picanha. And
wow,
so I'm obviously the griddle man. And so for the longest time we were waiting for Rob D to show up because he had all the damn ingredients for the Mexican food. So we're waiting for him to show up, and then all of a sudden when he shows up, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fire up the griddle. Shane looks at me and goes, well, I thought we were gonna cook the gator, and I'm like, we could already did that while we were waiting for
the other
somebody else.
stuff.
I mean,
Yeah,
so I'm trying to turn around. I had both the Blackstones, um, the range top combo with the deep fryer attachment. That's
right,
what we did the gator in, and I had my OG 36-inch going with all the taco meat.
right,
And I'm trying to do one thing, turn around, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and yeah, it got ooey gooey towards the end.
yeah,
Just the batter station got ooey and gooey. So now you know what I mean? It's just it was
a
good.
mess.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. I'm not a seafood guy, and
yeah,
I loved it.
really.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. Is that something you do every year? Or
It would have been before this dang Wuhan shit.
yeah, that
You know what I mean?
put a stop to everything, didn't it?
It stopped the world, dude.
Yeah,
But it it could pick back up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That was September. Oddly enough, September usually here in Ohio is fall, cool weather.
right.
It got up to freaking 90 degrees while these guys were here.
In
And it
September,
was
wow.
horrible. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
I would definitely do a better job at presentation, hospitality, organization. Now that I have already had one, you know what I
right,
mean. Um, you live and learn, you know.
right.
Uh, let me see if I missed any questions.
If you do it again, I may have to make that trip.
Hey, that would be awesome,
Come
man.
into enemy territory.
Oh, you'll be coming up that highway. You'll pass right by the shoe,
I will find another way to
right
go.
past the shoe.
Take the alternate route.
Yeah, you can stop off and take some pictures, you know.
Hang a Alabama jersey somewhere.
CB in the house. What's up, brother? Yeah, if you guys got any questions, leave it in the yeah, there's another we call this guy What's for Dinner. He was another YouTuber. He came from Columbus, in Ohio, down by the shoe.
Really?
And his little son, um, actually at the time I had the character, the red Mexican. Long
Red
story
Mexican.
short, had the sombrero, the poncho, screaming wepa, and can't speak a lick of Spanish, mispronouncing all kinds of shit, but cooking the hell out of some tacos.
Yeah.
So his little kid was with him, and he put the sombrero on, was running around. We was like, look, a little dinner. We called him Little Dinner. That's funny because Mrs. Lepp just brought up Little Dinner
Really?
yesterday. That is funny.
Yeah.
So it was What's for Dinner and Little Dinner.
Little Dinner.
But yeah, man, I'd like to get back to that. Do you guys is there any other YouTubers around you in your area?
Not too well. I don't know. Do you know Grill and Smoke Barbecue? He was in Tennessee, but I think he just recently moved to Texas. I think he was the closest one to me. And then Outdoors with Jeff is in Atlanta. So that's probably about 5-6 hours away, but I think that's the closest that I know of. Is Russ in Biloxi, maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he's by you.
Yeah. I think that's the closest few that's around.
SJ wants to know when you're gonna fly some drones. So I was peeping through, and I seen the first video was a drone video.
Yeah. It just hadn't been the weather to do it here lately, but at some point I'm gonna incorporate the drone with a barbecue cook in some kind of way. So just keep an eye out for that. I just hadn't decided how I'm gonna do it yet.
So is it true that you could program that drone to stay, say, 7-8 feet above you and follow you with your every movement?
Yep.
Now that would be badass to incorporate into a video.
Yeah.
I always thought about that one, man. Like, can I get some flybys? You know, we call them drive-bys. Can I get a drive-by? Yeah,
Get a drive-by. Yeah. But yeah, you can it's an aerial mode, and you just set it to a target and it'll follow you wherever you go, circle around you. I mean, it's pretty advanced.
So you could program it to do different tasks.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. I guess I'm gonna be shopping for some drones too while I'm working on this camera. I might as well, right?
Hey, might as well do it all.
Jorge wants to know what's your next cook.
My next cook is I done hamburger sliders, and it'll be coming out Tuesday. Cheeseburger sliders.
Yeah,
it came out pretty well. I think they're pretty good. Done the meat in more like a sloppy Joe form on brioche buns. Then kind of smoked them just a little bit to melt the cheese. It's pretty good. I think it was all right video. I think I'm doing I think I'll be doing a butt after that. Do a Boston butt.
Yeah. The butt, you're gonna smoke it, obviously, right?
I am. Yeah.
You ever have a Puerto Rican version? What they call pernil?
I haven't.
Check that out and see if you can incorporate that flavor into a smoked version. Okay. That'd be a good one. I think that would do really, really well. I'll tell you the truth.
I'll check that out.
You know what I mean? You got the Puerto Rican flavors, the sofrito and all that. You know what I mean? Different flavor profile, but it's still great. I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of Spanish food around me.
Sounds like that'd be really good. Yeah, I'll definitely check into that.
Mario wants to know what's your favorite cooker. Oh yeah, what are you cooking with? I forgot to ask that one. That's usually a question I ask everybody.
Gotcha.
What are you working with?
So I have one of my first grills that I ever bought. It's a no name offset. Then I have two Webers, one with the deep well, one with the shallow well. Then I have a Pit Boss 850 Pro Series, and then I recently just bought the 22-inch Blackstone E Series. So that's all my cookers for now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
and
like
and
more,
that's
but Miss Salt, Pepper, and Fire may not approve of too much more. I
and
get enough
that,
grief for the ones I have now.
so that's one reason why you reached out to me. Other than we became Facebook friends and you know crossing paths and everything. You had reached out because you seen I was working with the E series
Right.
before you went and bought yours. So with what I said, how shocked were you when that thing you went to go flip something and it just kept sliding for you?
Hey, you had warned me, but I mean, in person, it's a totally different thing. I
Hey,
mean,
you
it
got
is
you got to be like
ridiculous.
it's like that commercial. Oh, you got to be quicker. You got to be like Bruce
Yeah,
Lee on that burger
yeah.
before. Whoa!
You got to be ninja. I mean, because it'll get away from you quick. I probably made a mistake by putting that much butter down too, because that didn't help matter. So,
Nope,
yeah,
not at all.
that was lesson learned.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, but I
So,
like it. I mean, it's a good tool to cook with. I mean, it's just takes a little getting used to.
yeah. I mean, what apparatus doesn't? Tell you the
Exactly.
truth. Um, so
So you still liking yours?
um, my stuff seems to stick a lot more.
Really?
I think because I don't know if I burned off some of the ceramic. You know what I mean? But
Right.
they say no paper towels and no magic eraser, which I had already used. I think I had the temperature too high for
Yeah.
the thing right off the rip. And I think I might have ruined the top because now it right dead smack in the center. I got the 17-inch,
Yeah.
so there ain't much surface around that center part. It gets super hot
Right.
and burns and sticks.
Right. I have
But I
noticed
now
that.
I've learned all the other four corners though. I'm good to go.
Yeah. But I think it does just get super hot right there in the middle, and then the outside isn't quite as bad. So I've learned to kind of keep it out there a little bit instead of
Right
going
on.
right in the center, unless you want to get something done really quick.
Yep. My boy Dorito wants to know which drone would that be that you
It
work
is
with?
the Mavic Air 2.
Mavic. I
Yeah.
seen it. I remember it saying it in the title.
Yeah. Well, I started off with a DJI Phantom. It was kind of one of the older models, and then I traded that in and paid the difference and got the Mavic Air 2. It's a little bit of an upgrade. Does 1080. I think it can do up to 4K, but you have a lot less recording time on 4K.
Look at this, Alton passing out some knowledge. I know you have to legally license drones
Right,
now.
right.
Right.
In order to be paid for it, you have to be licensed.
Good to know. Good to
Yeah,
know. I mean, I mean, if it's a state law, I don't know if each state's different or if that's a federal law.
it's
It might
federal.
be a federal, yeah.
It is. Yeah,
Because of the FAA and stuff like that, you
exactly.
know.
Yeah,
Uh, they got higher tech where these things go up sky high now, you know.
yeah. It actually uses their satellites, so that's why it has to be registered with the FAA.
Good to know. Good to know. Let me write that down.
Yeah.
uh Rick's Barbecue and Specialties. What's up, brother? Um Wants to know what is your hardest thing to cook? Like what gives you the hardest time to and uses all the brain muscles?
Uh, I guess I go with brisket because I'm so meticulous about wanting it to come out absolutely perfect. So I mean, I'm watching every detail. You know, it's a long cook, but I'm in there every 30 minutes checking, making sure everything's good. Just because I mean, it's that it's one of the things my family really like a lot. So I want it to come out perfect every time. So I think that's usually the hardest cook for me, where I can relax with a little bit of the other stuff.
Yeah. So these guys are playing on the but uh so I had stopped the chat there for a minute so we could talk, and I come back to this crazy messages. Uh we got
Oh my god.
dog father doing the butt.
He going old school on that one. I
Yeah.
don't know if too many younger people will know that one.
Question for me from SJ's cooks. I nothing is actually on the radar now that I'm working for a barbecue restaurant and food truck, successful company. I'm looking at the big cookers, get into them stick burners probably, he actually has a Southern Pride, which is an indoor outdoor unit. And I'm really loving that because it has the rotisserie, you know what I mean? 3 shelves per rack, 6 racks. I mean, you could do so much on this thing. Uh, so that's one reason why, if you guys have noticed, I eliminated Blackstone Video on my bottom rocker of my logo. It used to say Leprechaun TV up top, Blackstone Videos on the bottom. Kind of made me one dimensional. Got this job opportunity, took the job opportunity, which is in the barbecue world, which now I'm venturing into more of the people who I hang out with. And so the only thing I could put on there was the next episode. You know what I mean? So cooker wise, we'll see. Wish list could grow the more I work with this guy. It's pretty cool
Do
learning
want to
some new.
sneak in a shout out to my guys though,
Awesome. Yeah,
805
there you go.
Barbecue Junkie and Lance at Sleeper Barbecue. Two good friends, man. We bounce a lot of stuff off each other, and if you're not subscribed to both of their channels, definitely go check them out because they're good dudes and they do really good barbecue.
There we go.
Yeah, I noticed she called me out in the chat here about a story about my drone on the 4th of July. So I guess I'll tell you about it. So
All right. There we go. See, that's what we
yeah,
needed.
yeah. So every 4th of July, we live really close to the Tennessee River, and they do a huge fireworks show there. So I'm gonna take my drone and get some good footage. So we go down there. I get it up in the air. And mind you, probably about a week prior, I was 5 miles down the river doing some more shoots with the drone. And before you put it up, you have to go through a series to let it know where it is. So it'll make that the home point. So the home point was 5 miles down the river. So I'm shooting and my phone glitches out and turns off. So that tells the drone automatically to go home.
Right.
So it takes up probably about 200 feet in the air and goes straight toward the barge where the fireworks are blazing. So it goes straight through there. Somehow, I don't know how, doesn't get hit by any fireworks, but I got some of the most amazing footage from that. It was crazy. And by the time my phone turned back on, it was probably about 3 miles down the river. And I don't know how I got it to get back, but somehow I did. So I recovered some pretty good footage, but I almost died in the process.
Oh, Dogfather. Yeah, he's still on the drone.
Is
You
it?
know what I mean? These are all good things, because I'm sure somebody here in the chat just probably wants to get one for fun purposes or to help them. You know,
Yeah.
like Dorito and Lucha Cabre, like they ride like four wheelers, side by sides, dirt bikes, and mini bikes and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
so it'd be
I
cool to
don't
have that drone following them. You know,
right. Yeah. I don't know if the rules are different, but I mean, we can't fly over 400 here. I mean, it's, if you're caught up there, they can fine you, take your drone, and then of course the app does show your restricted areas, and then it shows when there's planes it's close to you and you have to ground it. So it's pretty interactive. I mean, if you're paying attention, you can stay pretty safe with them.
yeah. That I mean, obviously now you got laws. Next, you know, it's next to the BMV or DMV, you got the drone school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Telling you what you could do and what you can't do, you know. But yeah, there's a lot to goes along with that. Obviously, probably some kind of online,
Yeah, there's online classes you can
classes
take.
or
Yeah.
yeah. Do you speaking of online classes, do you have your serve safe certifications or anything
I
for
don't.
cooking? No,
No. Mm-mm.
that's what I'm working on.
Really.
Yeah,
How long of a
definitely.
course is that?
So you got the food handlers. It's 20 minutes. You got the managers that think you got to watch up to 8 hours. I think it's 8 hours of class, and they got bartender one. The different categories to choose from.
Right.
Really, all I have to get is the food handlers right now. But I'm thinking about getting the manager just because if I get caught in the kitchen without the owner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you could only say so many excuses. Like, oh, he'll be here. I had a family emergency. Be right
Yeah.
back. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Here I'm
Yeah.
running a whole kitchen, you know. But yeah, I think that would be more logical for me to get that right now. Just go for it. You know what I mean? Why
Right.
wait? You know, just go all out and get it. But you know, is what it is. I know what I'm doing back there. You know what I mean? Obviously, in the eyes of the health department, I did have check this out. Uh Alton might be able to touch on this. Maybe Kemp, Daddy Dutch. So Department of Agriculture comes in, and it's not the health department, so things are a little different.
Right.
But she sees my Inkbird Insta read in a basket. She snatches it up and she asks him, "Whose is this?" And he goes, "Well, that's his. This black one's mine." And she was like grilling him, like, "Do you get them calibrated?" I'm like, "What do you mean calibrated?
Yeah.
Is there a way to calibrate this thing?" Honestly, I never heard of calibrating a handheld. I mean, besides
Yeah.
freezing or boiling water. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, so then I'm like, so then I got the infrared for it's strictly to read the zones of the flat top, not food
Yeah.
related. Did you get this calibrated? I'm like, what is going on? And this is the first time I ever had to deal with something like this. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Out of everything in this kitchen, you're picking on my damn InstaRead and my infrared that I brought in
Yeah.
for my personal reasons.
Exactly.
You know, I should have pointed out I got a Blackstone smash burger over there. You know what I mean? Do you want to make sure clearance
Yeah.
is cool? You know,
You want to check that out?
yeah,
Make sure it's
yeah.
cooked well.
Pull out your tape measure on me, dude.
Yeah. And half of those
uh,
people probably don't have a clue. I mean,
for
that's just
commercial use. Yep,
mm,
yep. So
better fix that ink bird before you take it back.
IO. What would be your dream cooker, man? John, what would you just remember your other half's in here.
Yeah, I know. Better tread lightly. uh, man, I don't know if I could ever pull the trigger on it, but I mean those Yoders, man, they are nice, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having one. But yeah, that's a something we won't talk about. But hey, he said dream, so yeah, that's my dream cooker.
Don't look up the price.
Yeah, don't. Whatever you do. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Dream cooker.
What's that?
You said, do you have a dream cooker?
I mean, a larger Blackstone.
Yeah.
I mean, like, give me 4 36 inches in a row,
Yeah.
but all connected. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
I could run that, you know.
Get some work done.
Obviously, I would have to have a team, but you know what I mean? It'd be dropping smash burgers, and I keep going down, and
Yeah.
somebody comes behind me, smashes them. Somebody comes behind them, flips
Assembly
them.
line.
The assembly line. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we recently got a food truck in the area called Smashed, and they do smash burger. And he has a pretty big griddle in his truck.
Yeah.
They do some pretty good work in there.
Uh,
Is that something
so
you'd ever consider?
my my owner at the barbecue spot, which is Jones Bones Barbecue. He allowed me to put smash burgers on the menu.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How are they doing?
It's only on Fridays, and let's say it's been 2 weeks. First week was like 5, jumped to 15. We'll see what tomorrow brings.
Right.
Yep. We got Uncle Steve showed up. What is up?
What's going on?
Middle Frew. We got Middle Frew, Canadian buddy in the house. How you doing? Somebody had asked, is the pellet the Yoder pellet?
They say pellet or offset?
Offset, yeah.
I wouldn't discriminate. I'd take either one.
Right.
I don't know that I have a preference.
Holly, he's gonna take the cheaper one.
Whichever one is least expensive. Yeah, let me go with that.
But yeah, so here we go.
Hey, thanks, Dutch. I appreciate that, Kit. I'll text you after this and you can talk to him in person.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
That's funny.
Yeah, one more won't hurt.
Hey, it's best when they're in the chat and you're like, don't ask me that one.
Yeah.
I'll call you later. I'll call you later. But then she still hears you outside talking about it.
Exactly. Yeah. What are you at this sneaky talking about?
Hey, you got your phone like this and you got the tape measure like
it'll fit. I'll just move this one. Yeah.
All right, brother. Guess what, man? You survived.
I survived the hot seat.
You survived the hot seat, man.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you.
Man, we're rolling up on the hour, and once again, here's your chance to take the floor and give your shout outs and plugs and whatever else, you know. Floor's yours, brother. Go ahead.
Just want to shout out my boys again, 805 Barbecue Junkie, Sleeper Barbecue. Just want to thank Lep, man. He is an awesome dude. You know, appreciate you having me on. Consider you a good friend, man. And Yeah, it's been fun.
For sure. Um, a lot of people get. I mean, who don't get nervous?
Yeah,
I still get nervous when I right before I cam up. You know what I mean? It's not an a wrong feeling.
right.
Like if you don't feel nervous, you ain't feeling.
Yeah, yeah. Something's wrong.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But it's gotten easier over the years for me. You know what I mean?
right.
Obviously, I've been the funny comic guy. My aunt and uncle got a camcorder back in early '80s when they first came out. The big shoulder one. It looked like a TV camera now.
Yeah,
I was right in front of that thing doing Saturday Night Live skits and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely
man,
got the
it's been
personality
great.
for it. Yeah, I agree.
Is this is you?
Yeah, that's mom right there.
That's mom's.
That's mom's. Yeah,
Mom SPF in the house.
yeah, yeah. Brought the whole family with me.
hey, hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely,
We are all one big family,
absolutely.
honestly. And
Yeah,
anything you need or questions you have, anybody in that chat that was, might have been busting your balls, Daddy Dutch. Uh,
yeah,
you know what I mean? That dude would take your phone call in a hot minute. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
and I believe everybody is the same way with that.
yeah.
Uh, it, it just keeps growing.
It does.
Every
Yeah,
day there's a new channel coming out, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Before you know it, we're gonna have we're gonna have a lot of people.
yeah.
Kent done messed me up, man. Totally lost my
No
train of
telling
thought.
what he said.
He's downstairs in the basement giving me the finger.
Is it? That is very
But
common.
with that being said, we are out next week. I don't have a guest lined up. It is the NFL draft, and I may be live on site from a draft party
Wow.
with a podcast, ex-Browns players, all kinds, big shindig.
Wow.
I'm thinking about doing that next week. I haven't been on site, you know what I mean? Any kind of for the hot seat. So this will be different, new, change it up a little bit. The only problem I have is I might not be able to read or hear. Obviously it'll probably be just me and whoever entertaining
Right.
whoever's out there. But
Exactly.
yeah, man, we're gonna try something different next week. So
Yeah, I
with
look
that
forward
being
to that.
said, man, I appreciate everybody showing up. I love you guys. And until next week,
Appreciate you all.
love you. Peace.
See ya.